Did you know there's a country where homes stay clean almost on their own, without anyone spending their weekend scrubbing and sorting and starting all over again? In Japan, a tidy home isn't the result of one big cleaning day. It comes from a handful of small daily habits so quiet, so woven into ordinary life that the people doing them barely notice they're doing anything at all. And if you're the kind of person who cleans the whole house on Saturday, feels amazing for about a day, then watches the clutter creep back by Wednesday, this is going to change how you think about your home completely. Because what I'm about to show you isn't a cleaning routine. It's a way of living where mess simply doesn't get the chance to build up in the first place. Imagine never again losing an afternoon to tidying. Never again that flush of panic when someone knocks and your living room looks like a storm passed through. These 7 habits come from a culture that treats the home as something to respect, not fight against. And if you ignore them, you stay trapped in the same exhausting loop, cleaning the same mess over and over. But take them on, and your home becomes a place that calms you the second you walk in. Stay with me until the last habit, because the 7th is the most powerful of them all, and it's the reason the other 6 actually stick. Let's start at the foundation. Number 1. Everything returns to one place. In Japanese homes, every object has one fixed home, and the moment you finish using it, it goes straight back. Not on the counter for now, not on the chair you'll deal with later. Back to its one place. Most homes drift into chaos because little temporary spots multiply. Keys land on the table instead of the hook. A jacket goes over the chair instead of the closet. None of it feels like a mess in the moment, but those small surrenders pile up into the chaos you spend your weekend undoing. In practice, you give every item you use a single, obvious home. Keys on one hook by the door. The remote in one spot on the shelf. Scissors in one drawer. For the first few days, you'll catch yourself and put things back on purpose. But after that, it stops being a decision and becomes a reflex. And the payoff is bigger than a tidy room. You stop losing things because nothing is ever lost. You stop the low background hum of searching that eats your time and patience. The house holds its shape on its own, and your mind feels lighter because it's no longer tracking where you dropped everything. But a fixed home for every object only solves half the problem. Even when everything has a place, there's still the gap between using something and returning it. And that tiny gap is where the next habit lives. Number 2, if it takes under a minute, do it now. This is the rule that quietly protects everything. The second a task would take under 60 seconds, you do it immediately. You don't note it, you don't save it for later, you handle it while it's still small. The trap this breaks is postponing tiny things. One dish in the sink feels like nothing. One sock on the floor feels like nothing, but I'll do it later is how 5 minutes of work becomes an hour. Because later, all those nothings wait at once. So you rinse the plate the moment you're done eating. You drop the stray sock in the basket as you pass. You wipe the crumbs the second you see them. And this only becomes effortless because of habit 1. You can put something away in seconds precisely because it already has a place to go. Without that, do it now just means standing there wondering where it belongs. The result is a home that never tips into disaster because nothing is allowed to accumulate. There's no pile waiting for you, no mental list of undone chores following you from room to room. It's like having an invisible helper tidying all day, except the helper is just a habit you stop noticing. Now, these first 2 habits are about motion, about what you do with things. But there's a deeper problem underneath, and no amount of putting away can fix it on its own. Number 3, keep less and the whole system breathes. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. It's almost impossible to keep an overstuffed space tidy no matter how disciplined you are. The Japanese approach leans toward owning less, keeping only what you use and value, and letting the rest go. Think about it. When you own 3 frying pans but only ever reach for one, the other 2 don't help you. They take up the space and attention that staying tidy depends on. When your closet is packed with clothes you never wear, the few you love get buried in the noise. So you go category by category and ask the quiet questions. Do I actually use this? When did I last touch it? Does it make my life easier or just heavier? You keep one good version instead of 3 mediocre ones. One solid pan beats 3 you dig through, and here's where it links back. Habits 1 and 2 ask you to give everything a home and return it instantly. Therefore, the less you own, the easier both become because there are fewer homes to remember and fewer things to put back. Less stuff doesn't just look cleaner, it makes every other habit lighter to carry. You feel it almost immediately, this strange sense of room to breathe. Quick pause here. If these habits are landing for you, take a second to subscribe. I share calm home and simple living ideas like this every week. And tell me in the comments which country you're watching from. I love seeing how far these little ideas travel. Now let's get into the habit that ties your whole day together. Number 4, the 5-minute nightly reset. Instead of saving cleaning for one brutal weekend session, Japanese homes lean on a small daily reset. Just 5 minutes at night, not a deep clean, just a light pass that stops anything from building. The reason weekend-only cleaning fails is that dirt and clutter compound. Give them 7 days and they don't add up, they multiply, until a 5-minute touch-up has become a 3-hour ordeal you dread all week. That dread is what turns cleaning into a punishment. So you pick a fixed moment, usually before bed, and do one quick lap. Wipe the main surfaces, return the few things that drifted out of place, straighten the cushions, drop the dirty clothes in the basket. Quick and light, not perfect. And because of everything before it, this reset takes almost no effort. Your things have homes, the tiny tasks are handled, and you own less to begin with. Therefore, 5 minutes is all it takes. You wake every morning to a calm, welcoming space, and that quiet sense of control reshapes your whole day. But everything we've covered so far breaks down the instant your home loses its sense of order, the moment rooms stop knowing what they're for. And that is the exact problem the next habit was built to solve. Number 5, one room, one purpose. In a well-run Japanese home, each space has a clear job and activities stay where they belong. You don't let the functions of your home bleed into each other because that blending is where hidden chaos begins. When you eat on the sofa, work from your bed, and let the dining table become a dumping ground for mail and laptops, every room loses its identity. Nothing has a clear purpose, so nothing has a clear place, and tidiness becomes impossible because the rules keep changing room to room. So you give each space one main job and protect it. The dining table is for meals, the bed is for rest, the desk is for focused work. You go to the place built for the task and bring only what it needs. The boundaries do the organizing for you, and the effect runs deeper than tidiness. Each room starts working the way it's meant to, which makes everything you do in it smoother. Your mind settles too, because a space with one clear purpose gives your brain one clear signal. Order stops being something you impose and becomes something the rooms themselves hold for you. But the calm of a well-ordered home is fragile in one specific window, the rush of the morning. And the Japanese have a ritual that protects exactly that. Number 6, prepare tomorrow tonight. The habit is simple. You spend about 10 minutes each evening getting the next day ready before you sleep. Your clothes, your bag, the kitchen, a last calm look around the house, because Without it, you wake up already behind, making a dozen rushed decisions while half asleep, leaving a trail of mess on your way out the door. That chaos doesn't stay in the morning. It sets the tone for the entire day. So, the night before, you lay out tomorrow's clothes down to the shoes, you pack your bag, you reset the kitchen and set up breakfast, you take one slow look around and put back anything out of place. 5 small acts done in calm instead of panic, and the morning transforms. You move through it unhurried because the hard choices are already made. You leave with everything you need. The house stays in order because you never let the night undo it, and you sleep easier knowing tomorrow is handled. So far, every habit has been something you do. The 7th one is different. It's a shift in how you see everything you own, and it's the reason the other 6 stop feeling like effort and start feeling like care. Number 7, be grateful for your things. This is the heart of it and the most Japanese idea of them all. You begin treating each object as something that serves you, an ally that makes your life easier instead of a burden you're stuck managing. The real reason cleaning feels so heavy is the story we tell about it. When you see tidying as a chore and your belongings as a weight, you build quiet resistance to it. You delay, you resent it, you feel buried. The mess outside is really a mindset on the inside, so you change the story. Putting clothes away becomes caring for the things that protect you. Washing a dish becomes tending the tools that feed you well. Clearing your desk becomes honoring the space that lets you do your best work. Same actions, completely different meaning. And this is what makes everything click. Once tidying becomes an act of care instead of a punishment, you stop forcing the other 6 habits and start wanting them. Therefore, the whole system stops being something you maintain and becomes simply how you live. Your home turns into a reflection of how you treat yourself, and people feel it the moment they walk in. That quiet calm you built one small habit at a time. If you want to take this further, I put together a simple guide for building all 7 into your week without overwhelm, linked in the pinned comment, free for everyone watching. So there you have it. 7 Japanese habits that can take you from cleaning forever to barely cleaning at all. But notice what these really are. Underneath the tidying, they're a quiet philosophy that values simplicity, calm, and respect for the space you live in. Lived consistently, they turn your home into somewhere you actually feel good being. And the gentlest part, you don't do all 7 at once. Start with the first. Let it become a reflex before you add the next. Consistency matters far more than getting it perfect, and slipping up now and then changes nothing, as long as you simply return to the habit without beating yourself up. Because in the end, an orderly home is really the outside of an orderly mind. Build one, and the other quietly follows. So tell me in the comments, which of these 7 are you starting with tonight? And if this helped you see your home a little differently, subscribe before you go, because the next idea might be the one that finally makes it all click. Your calmer home is closer than you think.